Hello viewers, today I'm going to share with you one of the ways of making the rosary. Rosary, which is a prayer, the prayer we pray through Mother Mary. This is how the rosary looks like. And I'm going to show you how you can make a rosary, one of the ways of making a rosary like this. So at first you have your equipment. You have the small beads. We call them spacers. Then you have your string, which is 18 ply, size 18 ply. Then you have the cross. Then you have the medal of Mary. Sometimes it has Divine Mercy. The other side it is of different pictures, but Mary should be there. Then we call this one a sender. Then we have the beads. These are the beads. Then you have your scissors. Now, this is how we go about it. You take your string. You cut. Remember, your rosary has two parts. This short part and this longest part. Now, I have to cut my string into two. I'm going to cut the short one. I put aside. I cut again the long one. It should be more above that centimeter. So mine could be the 40 centimeter or above, depending with the length, how long your rosary you want it to be. Then you cut. So now we have the long string and the short string. Now what is next? I'm going to take my scissors. I open it like this. Then I hold it like this. Then I want to trim. I trim the short part of the rosary. Why am I trimming? So that I make a needle, a sharp point to when I'm starting making the rosary, where I'm going to my beads, I'm going to pin in my beads. Then I take the long one. Again, I put the two ends together like this. Then I open it slightly, and it is like this. Then I sharpen it. You do not have to put a lot of effort. Gently, as you remember, you're trimming, you want to make a sharp point here at the end. The same applies. You can see my short one and the long one, they have sharp point, but I've not yet finished the part of sharpening it. For it to be more sharp, that's why I'm going to use the Q-Tex. Open your Q-Tex. Open your Q-Tex. It has opened up. Then once you open your Q-Tex, you put the two ends you have sharpened. The two ends you have sharpened together. Then you put on your finger like this. Then you take your Q-Tex. You just a small bit. Then you squeeze it while it is still wet, because once it dries, it is hard to squeeze it. This is how I'm making my sharp end points. I have made my two sharp points. Yes, so you can see my long one. It has two end sharp points. You put it aside to dry. Then you take the short one. Again, you do the same. Then you sharpen it. You open it. You sharpen when the two ends are separate. When I'm sharpening, remember I'm kind of rolling it so that it is really sharp. Now I have my short sharpened string and my long sharpened string put aside. Now I close my Q-tex. If you are doing more rosaries, you can sharpen like 10 so that when you start making the rosary, it will be easier for you. Now I take the short string, I take my cross. Remember my rosary is made, you start from the cross, then you put it inside, then you make sure they are the same, they equalize. This is it. Now what is next? Remember I'm on the first short string. What do? I have how many beads? 5 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I count my beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 beads for the first short part of the rosary. Then I take also my spacer, these small beads. My 5 beads, I put them aside. Then I take this to I put them down, close the container, put aside. Then I take my string with the cross. I hold my 5 beads. I put, this is how we put. You can see. Now I want the space between the first big bead and the next one to have 5 small beads. So I'll count 5 small beads. 3, 4, 5. See? 5. Next, I'm inserting the next bead like this. Then in between, I only put 1. Some people don't even put the small bead, but for me, I prefer spacing my big beads and the small beads like this. I have the 3 big beads spaced by the small beads. That's why we call them spacers, because they give the space between the big beads. Then the next I'm going to put 5 small beads. They are spacers, so I'm going to space my big beads with these small ones. Then I have like this. Then the next one I put the last big bead. Remember now this is the sign of the cross, the I believe in God, then the Our Father, 3 Hail Marys, then the Glory be to the Father. Then I go to my medal of Mary. It is in a triangular shape because it has, then Mary on the medal should be standing. If you see Mother Mary on the medal or on the center is not standing, there's something wrong. You see, I have put, now what I've done here, allow me to repeat so that you see very well. I have put my medal, you can see I've put my medal. Then I have put together my 2 ends back into the first bead, then I tighten it so that it is not loose. Tighten